everybody. Welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Her. And through all of that chatter that we did right before, I didn't go grab anything to drink. So there we go. I don't have anything to drink, but I do have my cup mug, and that's more important because apparently I'm not as thirsty. And one plus one equals a panel full of cup mugs, a panel full of cup mugs. Beer, 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 beer. My remix edition, period. And you can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically here, so in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So there are no excuses. Get your cup merch, period. Mhm.
And hello, my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel, and I would never, ever have my back thrown out by simply lifting some planks.
Mm,
No, never.
no,
Unless
I
you
mean,
slighted me in that case, like maybe,
maybe. I love her.
I love her so much.
I
She's
love her
so
so
good.
much.
This episode was good, but
Hmm.
like in my mind, that is almost a standout moment of oh, oh no,
Yeah.
I hurt my back.
Oh no, my bad. Oh no.
Oh, oh
I,
no.
I can't wait to talk about these moments because it was some
Mhm.
pretty funny moments in that. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode very much, and I can't wait to talk about it. But before we do, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what we gotta do. We gotta talk a little business. And we need you to subscribe to this channel because we are trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That is our goal. That is our mission. And we would love, love, love if you would help us succeed that and reach that so we can open up a lot of doors that we can do a lot of new fun things here on the channel. So if you will help us out, if this is your first time watching, hello, welcome. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining. And hit the subscribe button. It's free. It takes a half a second to do it. So go ahead. We'll wait. Hmm. Uh-huh. Thank you. Next, I see you over there too. Go ahead.
The button with
Thank you.
rainbow, you know where it is. You
You
can see
see it.
it.
Uh-huh. I see you looking. Go and hit it. Thank you. Oh,
It's
you too.
free.
You too, back there, who's looking saying I'm not doing it. You know you wanna. Go ahead.
Do
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. Thank you. But thank you so much for all who have subscribed and to those who are going to. We appreciate you. You can follow us on this channel and you can follow us on all of our other channels. We have 3 other channels if you're a fan of drag or drag race, if you're a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, or if you're a fan of WWE Wrestling, we have 3 other channels for you. All those links will be in the link tree in the description below. So click that and let us know and subscribe to all of those channels. We appreciate that. You can also look in our description to find our audio podcast links where you can listen to us on the go if you got to go to work or you're going to school or you're going to church, you're going to a date, whatever you listen, whenever you listen to your podcast, we got podcasts on our audio stream for you as well. So go click that link below as well. And our Patreon is heating up. We got a lot of fun things in our Patreon. Things when we're not talking about Deal or No Deal Island or any other reality competition show. Follow us on our Patreon. Go to our Patreon, follow us over there, see all the fun things that we got going on in there as well. Um, and yeah, that's it. Let's get into it. So we are left off where we started. We're starting where we left off. Not that I can't talk. We started where we left off. We just saw Philip leave, and so David had to make his decision on who was going to play the banker between Parvati and CK. And Parvati was like, "I want to play. I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling like this is my time. I haven't played the banker. Hadn't been in danger. This is my time." So put me in, coach. That's really what she was like, put me in. And David was like, yeah, go let Parvati play. Parvati's gonna play. And she was excited to play. And she matched with Ben and Kamari, so that was good. I was like, all right.
I mean, if it's the only chance besides literally the winning game that you're
Mm-hmm.
play the banker, and you're pretty confident that the other person is going to take you out anyway, you might as well play the banker. You might as well have control
Absolutely.
over the end game. I think
It,
it's just the right choice.
it's the right thing. It's the smart thing to do. And it's like you see, a lot of people said this season they want to have put their own destiny in their own hands. And so it was strictly up to Parvati what she did with this and how she was going to, if she was going to get through or not. It was up to her and how she played the game. And so she ends up picking five for her briefcase because five is rhymes with staying alive. So she picks five. And she goes to her first four cases. At the end of the first round, she has a 50-50 shot. She had knocked out two big cases, two small cases. Really good. Decent first round. Decent first round.
Decent first round. I mean, she knocks out the biggest case, but she also knocks out the $1. So, like,
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's luck, but not a bad first round. And I mean, first offer isn't bad either. It's 125K. So,
And she instantly says no deal, which of course you would.
mm-hmm.
And so she has to open up for more cases. And she does pretty much she has a really good second round though. She knocks
Yes,
out three of the smaller cases. And she only knocks out one big case in that second round. And so her offer skyrockets up to 900,000 plus.
925.
Yeah, so
But the issue with that is that unfortunately, out of the four cases that are left on the board, she has to have the $100 case. Otherwise, it's a bad deal.
right,
So she does. Even Joe is like, we know what we're doing here, right? Like you're
right,
smart, I'm smart. We can do basic calculations. Okay, we'll move on.
right. So she doesn't take that deal and she moves on. So she get into the final round. She has to do two more cases. And so she knocks out the big case and then a million and set 1.7. Think she knocks that out
I
too.
want to say she has after this round, it is a million on the board and 100.
Well, yeah. So she
So
knocks out the 1.7 and then the 2.5, 2.2 or whatever.
2.25 million, I believe.
Yeah. So she knocks both of those out. And like Jack said, only has 100 and a million. And the offer is 500
500,000
and one.
and $1. Because of
Because
course we
Luke
can't we needed the dollar back. I mean, we got rid of it, but now we got to add it back as a joke.
gotta have it back.
Fine.
So she's like, she feels torn. Does she have the 100 in her case, or does she have the million? And she's going back and forth, and she's trying to decide what's the best. And she doesn't want to risk it, so she thinks she might have the $100 in her case. So she takes the deal. So the bank, the prize pot at the end is 10 million, not
It's
something
10,230,000 and a
and one
dollar. I think
and
it
one. It's
could
two.
be it could be 10,023K and a dollar. There's a 2 3 in the middle there somewhere.
Right, but it's 10 million plus and a dollar. But so she takes the deal, um, and they tell her to open the case. She opens the case, and she has a million in her case, and so
Mm,
she makes a bad deal. Unfortunately, um,
wow.
we it's wild that the first time we
It's all just luck. I mean, the first time that Parv was ever eligible to be eliminated, the first time that Parv could have ever played the banker.
Yep,
It is not her day and she's done.
she's done. Poverty plays such a great game in this season of
Hmm.
Philadelphia Island. I can't say I can't give her a hard time. She played a really really good game.
Yeah.
If you were rooting for her or not, you can't deny how amazing she was this season. To go all that time being safe, never endangered, never ever having to play the banker, never put in a position where she was in trouble is quite astounding and amazing. And it just goes to show her social game is impeccable, and she has a great strategic mind as well. So, Poverty, I give my props to you. You ate this up. You ate this up.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the only reason that she didn't get fully through the game immune is because CK, whether it was a mistake or not, and unfortunately we just
We'll
won't
never
know that.
know.
Um, the only reason that we have that she was ever in danger is a one bad call by one other player, and even then, she played the best possible game that she could at Temple. So,
Mhm,
like, literally, there was nothing that she could have done different or better in order to
mhm,
change the outcome of her gameplay. And I mean, I do think that if she realistically goes into this final challenge with realistically swapping out Letty for Parv,
mhm.
I'm honestly not sure who wins between David and Parv. I think my guess, honestly, between the two of them is that it genuinely comes down to both of them having social connections and
Mhm,
one person favoring someone else over another. Like,
mhm.
and I think David
It would have been Philip.
still isn't a good. It would have been Philip, and Philip would have screwed Parvati, and David wins. That's probably what happens, and Philip gets his. Actually,
I don't even think he would because we'll talk about it. We'll talk about
mm,
Philip in this
yeah,
challenge, but I don't know if it would be that easy. I don't even think it'll be that. It'll be Philip because Philip didn't screw anybody. Philip let people make their own choice. And
yes,
so I think that's what would screw them if they decided to make the right or wrong choice. So, but we'll talk about that when we get to that challenge. But Parvati is gone after playing such an amazing game, and I say props to you, girl.
yeah,
But David is not happy. David is he's not happy at all. Like they get back to the camp and they're having dinner and Letty is and TK are trying to be like reveling in the fact that we just made final three. Woo! And David is just like, that's not what I wanted.
mm,
He's literally pouting a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie, he's pouting a little bit.
yeah. No, he's fully pouting.
He's upset because this is not the final three that he wanted. He did not want Letty there. He did not want to see her there. And so she's kind of just like just happy. And he's like, mm. And so she's trying to engage with him, and he's just like,
I
um,
just need to go
I'm
sleep.
just
I'll
gonna go to
see y'all
bed.
tomorrow.
Right. I don't want to talk to you. He did not want to talk to them. I was like, and he was glaring at her. She was saying some slick stuff though, Letty. I will say, Letty, you was saying some slick stuff. Like, ooh, if this would have happened, I would have been here, or you would have just like just little stuff to be slick. And I was like, I see you, and I understand why because she's like, I'm gloating a little bit because you were trying to get me out and you couldn't. So I am gloating a little bit. I am, and it is what it is. But CK and David's like, I'm going to bed. I don't want to deal with this, and they go to bed. And it's fine. But the next day for the mission, they walk to this pier, and Joe was like, "You're going to. There's three cases on each level of this pier, and you have to retrieve the cases and bring them back to lock in your score. And whoever has the most points, or whoever's total amounts the most, will win said mission. But there's a twist." Um, on each of these platforms, you will come in contact with former players of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to um
They will be the ones
just
either helping
giving
you
you the case.
determine which case or
Or
helping you cross to the next pier.
yeah, because the bridge is not complete, so they have to help you across. And so your, I guess, social skills is coming back into play. Did you treat these people right? Did you treat them right on their way out? How do they like you? Will they help you? Will they screw you? So it become like, oh wow. So they pull for numbers. Letty, of course, put a dig at CK. Don't look. Uh, CK said, I'm not looking. I'm not looking. She picks second. Luckily goes first. David is last. Um, and so Letty goes, and she crosses, and she walks into the first uh door, and behind that door is Philip and Parvati. And so, of course, and so Philip is handing out the briefcases, and he's the one telling her, which one's the highest. There's a high, a mid, and a low. Um, and so Philip is like, this is the highest, this is the mid, and this is the lowest. Like he's telling her which one is which. You just have to trust if he's telling you the truth. But of course, Letty trusts Philip 100%. Philip would never lead Letty astray. So we know that he gives
We
Letty the high
True.
case.
Yeah.
But then she has to talk Parvati into helping her build this bridge to go across to the next level. And Parvati is like, I mean, we didn't really play together. We weren't looking to work with each other, so why should I help you? And Letty was like, I pull your game. She said, I respect you, and I pulled from your game when I sent Dixon home. She was like, oh yeah, you did send Dixon home, huh? And she was like, but I know you're a gamer, and I know game respects game. And Parvati was like, I do respect that because that was that was a bad A move, and I'm here for it. So I'm gonna help you with this bridge. And so really, it just was connecting each different bridge, the planks across that match because all the planks were different, so they had to find the ones that match. So it was like a little puzzle little thing.
We've seen this like almost directly on Survivor. It's just
Yeah,
normally there's the hole sizes are a lot more pronounced
right.
versus this time.
Yeah. So, but they get it together. She crossed the bridge. She's out. So the next door she walks in is Lachelle and Dr. Will. She's excited to see them both because she really hadn't done anything wrong to Lachelle, and her and Dr. Will became really good, close towards the end of his stay. So Lachelle was like, "I'm just gonna tell you which cases you should steer away from, and then you can pick." And so she's like, "Okay." She's like, Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you which one is the high or the low or the mid. I'm just gonna let you pick, but I'm gonna tell you you don't want this one." And she's like, "Okay." So she had to pick her on her own, and I respect that from
I
Lachelle.
it is the most Lachelle thing to do of just like I'm not going to get involved here. Y'all can deal with the mess of this because I mean we see something very similar given to another person.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean Lachelle's like I'm not gonna screw you over. The low one is down here. Other two are your choice. That's your problem.
And I was like, okay, that's fair. So Letty picks her case, and Dr. Will is like, and this one is you have to throw these moose knuckles balls. in
The monkey fist, yeah.
monkey fist. Why did I call it moose knuckle? I don't even
I was
know.
gonna say, definitely not moose knuckle. That is
That's something
something
totally
else.
different.
That is
Hmm.
something very different. But
Ooh,
yeah,
ooh,
once again, something almost directly taken from Survivor.
ooh.
I
But
mean,
yes, yes, throw the monkey fist into the things, pull it, and then you can pull yourself across the bridge. Dr. Will, of course, is gonna help Letty. He likes Letty, so he
mhm.
helps Letty, and
Dr. Will basically just nails it.
He's
He's
really good
never
at
done
that.
this before, but it is one toss into the first one and then two tosses into the other, and he nails it immediately. So
Yeah,
a massive time save for Letty as she just quickly gets across. And I
absolutely.
mean, that good relationship with Dr. Will gets you easy monkey fist throws. I don't know how those correlate, but sure, whatever.
Sure. And so the third one, she goes in and it is Dixon and Seychelle. She has no problem with Seychelle. Seychelle loves Letty. They were working together very closely, so she knew that whatever Seychelle would be able to help her, whatever what she was going to do. Dixon was in charge of the briefcases. Now, Letty was the one who got Dixon out, so she was a little concerned that maybe Dixon will try to screw her in this moment. He was like, I'm just gonna tell you, this is the high, this is the mid, this is the low. And she was like, "Are you trying to screw me?" He was like, "That's up to you to decide. I'm not going to. You can trust me or you won't or not." And so she was like, "I do trust you," because he was like, "I understand game moves," and she's like, "I do trust you, and I think that you are, someone who respects big moves. So I'm gonna trust you." So she took the case that he said was the high case. Cheryl was quickly like, "Yep, I'm gonna help you." They had to pour water into these two golden buckets to drop the drawbridge so she can go across. And so Cheryl helped her, and they filled up those things really quickly, and she was out. She locked in her case, and there we have that. So it was good on her. Up next was CK, and they shuffled the people each round and shuffled the cases each round. So we see the first when CK goes, the first crew she runs into is uh Dixon and
Dixon and
Seychelle.
Station.
Seychelle. When she runs into Dixon and Seychelle, she's like, I don't know how I feel about Dixon. Dixon has lied to me before. I've lied to him. We have really never been eye to eye on things. So Dixon tells her the same thing. This is the high, this is the mid, this is the low. Trust me or not. And she was like, I don't. Okay, I'm
Mhm.
gonna take this one. So she does take the one that he says is the high. So she trusts him enough. Now here's where it got funny because Seisha was like, I
I don't
don't
know.
know. I kind of feel like if you want my help, I need you to get down on your knee and grovel. And see him like, oh yeah,
Oh,
queen, queen, you're a queen. Seisha was like, you're not really saying
not
nothing.
good enough. Keep going. Keep going.
We don't
I
have
want
an
to waste as
apology.
much time as you can.
She was like, I don't hear an apology at all. I just hear you calling me a queen. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry, you're a queen. Blah, blah, blah. And so Stacey was like, okay, fine, I'll help. I'll help. And so she started helping and making sure, she would give her the boards. And then it got like, oh, I can't tell which board is which. This is crazy. I don't know. And so then she got to the point where CK was down further, putting the board. So she was like, say, sure, you go hand me another board. Or she was like, ooh, I threw my
Oh,
back
my
out.
back.
My
Oh,
back. Oh, I
oh
hurt my back.
no.
Oh
I
no, I
can't
threw my
help
back.
you anymore. That's so strange.
I threw my back
Uh-oh.
out. And CK was like, oh, well,
Okay.
okay. All
You know
right.
what? Fine.
I
This goes from incompetence to no, you're doing this intentionally. Gotcha. Okay.
She was like, okay, I guess I deserve that. So CK finally gets the board together. She goes across. And so we see conversations as this is happening. And so Parvati and Philip are talking, and Parvati's like, are you going to give her the low case? He said, no, I'm going to give her the high case. But she's not going to choose it because she don't trust me. And Parvati's like, oh. He's like, I'm going to
Mm.
say the high case, and she's not going to take it. Watch. And so they go to the next one, which is Philip and Parvati. And Philip tells her, this is the high case, this is the low case, and this is the big case. You should take this case. Do you trust me? Do you trust that I won't do you as bad as you did me? And
Oh,
and CK was like, Uh, nah, I'm gonna take this other
No.
case because she didn't trust Philip, and Philip was like, "See, I knew it." She just wouldn't. She won't listen, and she does not think anybody will not do her dirty because she would do people dirty. And so,
It it's so bad. I mean, we already know that CK has to be behind everyone else. And just to be clear as well, um the only two people being judged on case value are the top two time finishers.
yep,
Slowest player automatically eliminated. We don't even care about their case values. They're done.
we're
So
done.
CK is already in a bad spot.
Yeah, Parvati eventually decides to help CK with the moose, with the monkey in the fist things, but she knows like she's not good at this. Like she would never be good at this. This is not something she could do. Um, and so CK pretty much has to do it by herself. Eventually, she has to end up doing that by herself. She's really good at it for some reason. She actually hits it really quickly. Gets the thing, goes across, runs into Dr. Will and Lachelle. Of course, Lachelle is CK's girl. This is the one person CK does not have to worry about screwing her over or messing with her. She knows that Lachelle is trustworthy. So Lachelle tells her, I will lead you in the right direction. You just gotta trust me. And so she looks, she's like, this case? She's like, nope, I wouldn't go there. And so she looks, and and CK and Lachelle kind of gives her a look like that's the one. And so she picks the case. And so then it's the Dr. Will, and it's the water filling up, and the water fill up challenge. And Dr. Will is like, I refuse to help you.
The one look, you can do all the lying, all the stealing you want. The one thing you can't do is cheat, and that's exactly what you did. So I'm out. You are gonna have to do this yourself, and I will say, I think this
That's
is
the
the
worst one.
worst one to do
That's
your
the worst one to do by yourself. Absolutely.
because it's
And
just grunt work. There's literally no communication that needs to happen. It can literally be two independent people doing it.
yeah,
So
so she's like, ugh. So she's putting the water in. She can only put the water in one at a time, and she's missing. Halfway through, Dr. Will is like, ugh, I kind of feel bad for her. So I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help. So he grabs the other ladle and he starts helping her. And eventually it comes down quickly, after he starts helping, and she runs across it and locks in her time. Then we have David. The first person he runs into is Dixon and Seychelle. Dixon does the same thing he did with Letty. This is
mhm.
the high, this is the low, this is the middle. Trust me if you want. And trust David is like, of course I trust you with my life. You are my Dixon, of course, you're my dad in this game. I loved you in this game. Everything was great. But oh wait, no, I did that wrong. First group he
Yeah, I was
runs
gonna
into.
say
Well, don't
that was
say you
definitely
weren't
not the
gonna say.
first.
You should have just said it. No, I'm just messing with you. The first was Dr. Will and Lachelle, because Dr. Will is like, I told you that I think you played something. You played something so well. What did you play? Just tell me right now. I know you played something. What did you play? And he was like, I won Survivor Australia. And Will was like, I knew it. I respect that. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And he was like, okay. And so Lachelle gave him the same options. He picked the case from Lachelle. Um, Will was like, I'm gonna help you with this point. He helps with the puzzle. So he's helping, and he's doing like running through this. He's handing him the things, he grabbing him like, cause I respect you, man. I respect you. And then when he gets to the last plank, Will looks like he's about to hand him that last plank, and then he said, but Survivor is not Big Brother. He throws it into the water.
Because of course, Dr. Will needs to make it a last moment of like, oh, and by the way, my show is better.
Wish he would have did it two with the last two boards, but okay.
I I mean, you can only do it once because after that point, then it's like, oh, okay, well, I can't trust you anymore.
I mean,
Doesn't really matter.
I would have threw it, and while he is putting it on, I would just grab the other one, like, and I have it now. So I could have did it twice. I just would have threw both of them, but it is what it is. But Dave was like, respect, I get it because Doc- David did send Dr. Will home, so he had
Hmm
to get his lick back a little bit. Um, so David goes through. The next people he runs into is Parvati and
in Dixon and Seychelles.
no, they're the last one. Oh no, wait.
Yeah, no,
No, you're right. It's
I
Dixon
was
and
like,
Seychelles. Yeah,
okay, did I
you
fully hallucinate?
no, you're right. It's
But
Dixon and Seychelles. Dixon is like, why couldn't you tell me you were a survivor? He was like, I know that's the one thing, that's the secret I wanted to keep. And he was like, but that's fine. I still respect you, still love you. Dixon gives him the highest case. We know Dixon will give him the highest
hmm
case. There's no way Dixon was not going to give him the highest case. Seychelles has no problem with David. And really, this was something David could have did by himself anyway.
I mean, David basically did it by himself. He threw the first one, hook. Second one, hook.
Huh.
Seychelles literally just got to throw it once and then went,
Okay, here you go.
there you go. I don't need to do this anymore.
He goes through, gets it done. Last person he runs into is Philip and Parvati. Philip does the he was like, I chose Philip does something different. He was like, I just need to know if you trust me. If you trust me like I trusted you in this game, because I chose this case for you. Will you take it or not? And David is like, oh, skeptical,
Hmm.
but I do trust you, Philip. I trust that you won't do it because Philip has played such a that was his thing to play an honest game.
Loyal, honest game with integrity. So
Right.
this, I mean, it wouldn't make sense to randomly turn on David at the last moment,
I
especially
mean,
because Philip kind of Philip knew-ish that it was coming, but he did also say like, so someone who was a liar and a cheat, you took me out over her.
all right.
So
I mean, I think Philip has played in a loyal game, but I would not be surprised if he screwed Davis over in this moment because David screwed him over in the last temple, and it's
mm,
like you picked someone who you knew was a liar and cheat, and I was trusting you, and I trusted you, and you told me that I was good, like you said. Uh, what we were going to do, and it was going to be CK, and that was fine. But you went back on that, and they was like because you said you would go take out Parvati, and he was like, I mean, I get that, but you should have just said that. Like, I would
mhm,
not be surprised if Philip gave
gets his
David
last laugh,
right.
but I could also literally I can see it in either direction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But David Case, of course, Parvati has no problem helping David fill up that thing because I think that would have been the thing that would have slowed him down the most if Parvati was like, nah. He
Hmm
had the right person at the right time. I think if he would have had Will at the water fill up thing, he would have been even more screwed. Or
But
Seychelle because she would have taken her time.
also of all people, David is going to be the most fine doing just grunt work compared to the other two.
Yeah, but it
So
would have took a little longer to fill up both of those things.
it would have probably taken a little bit longer, but I can also think that he'd probably be fine with it. He'd just double arm it somehow, just both scoopers, both hands, dump. Like he'd figure out how to become two people because he's
Probably.
fucking David.
Probably. Probably. But so he locks in his scores. We have CK and Letty come back out, and we have to reveal who has the lowest score and who's going home right away. There's no chance for you to do nothing. You're just going home. And so we see Letty finishes hers in 9 minutes. David finishes his in 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And CK finishes hers in 13 minutes.
Yeah. That's not surprising in the slightest. She got screwed at basically every possible step.
Every station she got
So
screwed. Hmm.
yeah, no, that unfortunately makes a lot of sense. And CK, I mean, even then, I don't think CK got the same value of cases as the others, so she was definitely not winning on score either. Like
No,
it was very much game over for her immediately.
and to be honest, I'm not that mad. Yeah, I'm not that mad. If I had my final two out of those three, she would have been gone third too. So,
I
man,
I think she ended up playing the most not scrapped together game, but the most messy game overall. And unfortunately, she got really, really bit by it.
hmm
So, I
look,
mean, she was given so many passes in order to get to this position that this final game was just like an insurmountable hurdle.
man, she was. I will say she was scrappy. She fought through to everything, and she made it through a lot of things that probably other people would have just been decimated by. So
Hmm.
decimated by. So I think she did really, really well. I keep saying words wrong today. I am sorry. Um, but I think she's a scrappy player. She just wasn't my particularly favorite player this season. But she played
Yeah,
a decent game that got her to that point. So you can't knock her for that. She did what she needed to do.
cannot.
She kind of ate. So we do know that our final two are David and Letty. And now it's just going to come down to who has the most money in their case. And whoever has the most money in their case will go on to play the banker for the final time. Um, so Letty opens her three cases and she had 1.8, 1.7 million. All these are million, by the way.
Yes.
And then 2 million. Was it
2
two?
million.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And specifically, that was the high value from Philip,
yep,
the high value from Dixon,
yep. And the mid value from
and the
Lachelle.
middle from
Yeah.
Lachelle. So that means that if David managed to get all three high cases, congratulations, he just wins. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. Which, not, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. We don't know necessarily what happens if somehow David gets two highs and a mid. I assume the case values are just ever so slightly different, but I
Depends
don't
on
know.
what I think the second the second, like the lower cases or the first, like the 1 point
It could be 1.6, 1 point. It could be like
set
1.6,
6, 7,
1.7, 1.8,
1.8,
then 7, 8, 9, and
1.9,
then 8, 9, 2
9,
million.
2. Yeah. I think that's what it feels like and sounds like. So it really depends on what station he got the middle one from,
Mm-hmm.
if he got a middle one at all. So we don't know, because this is where it cuts off. We don't know where David's last case is. We know he has a 1.8.
And
We
a
know he
1.9.
and a 1.9. So all he has to do is at least get a middle case or a high case.
Yeah, if he got a middle case, I believe. Yeah, if Philip handed him anything but
The low
the
case.
low case based on our numbers, he outright wins. If he
Yes.
handed him the low case, then it ties. And then I assume it goes to time
It goes
anyway,
to
so
time
David
anyway.
wins no
David
matter
will
what,
win.
and this break is pointless. And it's
Right.
just to produce another episode. Um, but yeah, I would be almost 100% confident in saying David is the winner of this season at this
I
point,
agree.
just and next week we get to see him play a 40-minute long game of Deal or No Deal, or some sort of reunion hybrid, whatever, because literally the only thing left on the docket is the winning game.
I mean, everybody will come back. They will
Mhm.
talk. They will have a moments, and then they will play the game. It's gonna be a longer game. I think at least 30 minutes of the is going to be game. Um,
My guess is it probably jumps back up to a full 26
20
case
cases.
game instead of a 12 case game.
If yeah, maybe not 26, 20 maybe.
20 maybe. Yeah, I don't remember what it was last season.
But I think it was but I think they will have a full game, so I think 30 minutes for the game is doable, and, we'll see what happens, but I do think David is going to be that person playing that game. I think he's going to win. Um, I just feel it. It just feels like he would. I mean, we did get a lot of the backstories going on, and I would love if Letty would have been able to play this because of what she was saying, what she was dealing with, and what she was going through.
Mm,
Not that David's story is less important. He's doing it for his kids, which is very great. But um, I feel like David has so many opportunities, and of course, to play a whole lot many more games, and which we already know he is playing another game coming soon.
not only do we know he's played another game, we also know that he's just like straight up hosted shows. So like
He's
he's good
working.
with money. Like
He's
he's
work
good. But
right.
Letty could have used it.
Letty,
I'm sure that David is gonna help out with everyone still because that's the type of person that he is.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he gonna
Mm.
help out with everybody. I don't, just don't think that's what he's gonna do. But I do think that it would be nice to see Letty's story be like, yeah, yeah, she's young, she's going from job to job, trying to make a little money. She's moved back into her parents' house. She want to get out of her parents' house. So she want to be able to
Mm-hmm.
live, buy a house outright. Like, I bought this house, this is my house. And just live a comfortable life and still have fun and be able to, have get a good start off in her young life. And it would be nice. Both of them
It
are
would be.
deserving. Both of them are deserving, I will say, and
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see either one of them. But I just feel like it's David. I just feel like it's
It.
David.
I feel like it has to be David. They're really. I mean, I feel like if you look in the right places as well, you can probably like figure out via the trailer for next week or like a preview or something that like, oh, this person's on the bench, so it must be this person who's playing. Like there's going to be some weird way because even this week's trailer, people clocked that in the preview, it was very clear that Parvati was not with the other three,
Mm,
implying that she had already been eliminated to that point. So
mhm.
that's the one thing I will beg the editors to do better is just like if you're gonna do cliffhangers,
Right,
don't post previews with the answers to said cliffhangers just like in public view.
right.
Because that has been repeatedly screwed up this season. But I mean, overall, it's been a pretty good episode,
Mm-hmm.
and one more left.
One on to go. We got to see who is the finale, and we'll see who finally will be revealed who the banker is this season, who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Any other guesses on who you think the banker is, Jack?
I think it just has to be Jordan from last season. I think
That's
it
what I've been
makes the most
saying.
sense. It's either Jordan or as a backup, I think it might be Claudia. Those are realistically the only two options I can reason
I didn't think about Claudia. I always thought Jordan because of she won last
with. She
season. It
won
makes
last season.
sense. But Claudia's actually a good choice. Didn't think about that, but yeah, my pick has been Jordan since the beginning. It will stay Jordan to the end. So, but we will be back next week to talk about all things Deal or No Deal at finale. Um, and we hope you join us. So we're gonna get out of here because we really have nothing else to say. But follow this channel, subscribe to the channel. If you stuck around with this whole time, we appreciate you. Please hit subscribe on your way out. Um, Follow us on all of our channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow Jack and I. All of our links are down there as well for our socials. And you can get your merch at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. That link is also in the description below. And that's about it, y'all. We're done. So cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.